Welcome back to another episode of Industrial Amputation, where you can always expect the unexpected. Hey, Happy New Year. This is our first show of the year. We've missed you. Have you missed us? I hope you have. You guys are looking good. We
Yeah,
appreciate
look
you being
great.
here with us.
Look fucking great.
All right, today with us, we have the pleasure of welcoming William Zimmerman of Coil Media, and we are very, very happy to have him here. He's a wonderful gentleman, and yeah, William, thank you for kicking it with us.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank you
William.
for having me. Looking forward to it.
Oh,
Yeah,
hell yeah. So let's
yeah.
jump into this. Take us through a day upon a week in your life in PR.
A day upon a week.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know what? Every day is a little bit different, honestly. I mean, there's some in some ways it starts off the same. The first thing you do is you bust out the planner, the notebook, the spreadsheets, stuff like that. But in terms of client interaction, it can be an adventurous day, or it can be kind of a run of the mill day.
Yeah,
It just kind of depends. I guess that's kind of like the exciting part of the job is that, especially, like being your own boss and not having to answer to somebody, it kind of leaves a little space for adventure.
that's for sure. Yeah.
So, no, that was kind of vague, but
Well, tell us about the history of forming Coil Media.
it definitely wasn't really on purpose, I don't think. I mean, part of the unique background is that I don't come from a business background.
Mhm.
Like I started as a fan,
Hmm.
as an artist, as a writer, and now as a business guy. So all of those perspectives are helpful when doing this kind of job.
Yeah.
Um, I was an artist in the late 90s, which kind of tells you how old I am.
Hmm.
And that changed. Things happened, and then I started writing. I started doing blog writing for music reviews. I came upon a PR agency in Iowa, and they kind of showed me the ropes. And so I started doing more reviews, and then I got to thinking, I kind of want to be my own boss.
Yeah.
I like doing this, but I got to do my own thing. So I did my own company. Long story short, that was basically like a side hustle because I was working in healthcare for like 12 years or something.
Oh, I do that too, or did that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it has nothing to do with music, but like I think,
Oh.
it'll definitely teach you, working in a hospital will definitely teach you, like gratitude,
Hmm.
like things that people really shouldn't be complaining about. Like a lot of people have it a lot worse.
Yeah.
So,
I have noticed that a lot of the people in our scene have some kind of tangential connection to medical stuff. But I was a home care agency owner and caregiver for a long time, and
yeah,
I kind of always was. But were you sort of in that boat too?
yeah, kind of. I
Always
mean,
taking care of people.
well, I was in medical records, but the interesting thing about it though was that at the end of 2020, I got to take a little side road here to answer that question. The end of 2020, I left healthcare industry and I thought that I had found the job that I wanted in town here. So I wasn't driving to work 45 minutes there, 45 minutes back.
Yeah.
Found a job 5 minutes down the street, more money than I was making. And oh, let's see. Yeah, I thought it was going to be great, but after a month, I left. And I left because this company basically asked me to deceive a major insurance company into thinking that they were another company in another state.
Yeah,
And
there's
yeah, this
wow.
this employer was basically, it was one of those that would like sell information to companies that were selling to life insurance customers.
Wow.
And so basically, it being a volatile environment, the last straw was a meeting I had the day before I left. And so February 9th, 8:30 a.m., 2021, I walked into the office, grabbed all of the stuff that I had there, and I stopped by the manager's office before I left, and I said, I don't want anything to do with this fraudulent business. I'm
Yeah.
done.
Well, that's good.
So, yeah, total uncertainty at the height of COVID, and but going back to your thing about caretaking, years ago, my wife was diagnosed with MS. And so that allowed me to not to have to answer to anybody
God.
when, we had to go to the doctor or, I could be there for her and, as well as go pick up my kid from high school in his last year of high school. So,
Oh, that's
um,
yeah,
that's
that's all
pretty
right, man.
much that
Yeah.
part of the story.
Well,
Well,
is there a story behind the name of Moon Coil Media?
There it is. So years ago, when my kid was, I don't know, maybe like a few months old, a year old, we lived in this house and we used to go out on the porch and I'd pick him up and we'd look up at the moon up there and he'd stick his arm up and go, I can't reach it, I can't reach it. So that whole thing, the idea of something being out of your reach, you hear the phrase drawing down the moon, that kind of thing inspired it. That was part of it. The coil part, I was talking to my business advisor one time and he just said the word coil. I was like, well, that would sound kind of cool because otherwise I'm gonna think over and over about a cool name.
yeah.
But then I started thinking about it, and part of the reason I do business the way I do is kind of inspired by my grandpa, whose name was Carl. Um, he had a business up in New Jersey, and back in the day when he had his business, it was they sold kind of like a form of oil to heat up homes. I'm not
Hmm.
really sure how it worked, kind of, but yeah, it was called Zimmerman oil. So if you take the C from Carl and then the oil, there's your coil.
Oh, I like it. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's kind of the story. And then the media thing just being that we didn't potentially want to just do PR. We
Yeah.
wanted to kind of go off into other areas like band management and record label, that type of thing. So it just kind of encompasses it all.
Oh, that's cool. Right on, man. So let's go a little bit further into your background and why you wanted to do PR. Was there a particular experience that led you to this line of work?
I mean, it was kind of dealing with that PR company that I was telling you about earlier, because I
Mm,
never thought like, I don't come from a marketing background or anything like that. Like I said, I come from a fan and a musician background, but it
yeah,
was working with them, um, I think being of service to the artist community, um, was just like really gratifying.
yeah,
I mean, as far as this niche genre that we work in, predominantly goth industrial post-punk,
yeah,
that goes back to 1991, 1992. Um, because I grew up on like new wave, the Flock of Seagulls cult, that, and then kind of branched over into like Quiet Riot and Motley Crue.
yeah,
But then 17, 18 years old, I'm sitting in the library in high school, and this girl comes up to me and she's like, dude, you got to go to see this local St. Louis band, and they're called Voice of God. And she told me all about the stage show. It was like a pulpit, and the guys dressed up in costumes and whatnot. The funny story is that I walk into this venue, and the first thing I thought of was like, there's no drum set. Where the hell's the drummer? So it's like that was my first introduction to a band that uses backing tracks, like on a DAT tape. Or actually, they had their backing tracks on a reel to reel, if you can imagine that.
oh yeah, no, that's a better way to do it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
Oh,
yeah, but no,
back in the day anyway, it was.
yeah, but I mean, I'm still friends with the main guy from that band to this day, and I told him, like, we went out to dinner one time. I was like, look, dude, I don't think you understand. You totally changed the trajectory of my musical interest. And I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today if it weren't for you. I mean, that's why I say go support local bands because you never know. One of you might have one that just totally changes your life because it did to mine.
Yeah. I mean, at one point, Elton John was a local band.
Yeah, I mean,
You
there are
know,
stories of, guys going to see him in LA for the first time, and it's just like life-changing for him.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So what were some of the shows you were going to in the early days?
I hadn't gone to that many shows by then. Um, that was really like the first. They played a lot. I think they played every couple of months, so I'd go see them every couple of months, and um, the rest were kind of like rock shows because I was a little late to the party when it came to like goth industrial bands. Like, um, they were like my first intro, but then I started getting into like Nine Inch Nails Ministry, but the shows that I were going to were still kind of like hard rock and metal shows.
Yeah, yeah, there's definitely a connection there.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what are some of the challenges in doing PR currently in this landscape?
Um, I mean, there's challenges on a number of levels. There's industry challenges, like, yeah, I mean, we've had situations where, colleagues unfortunately turn into competitors.
Hmm.
We've had, I mean, it's a challenge keeping up on trends like algorithms. Um, I mean, there's been actually some of the more challenges have been under our artist management sort of arrangement, which is kind of like an arrangement that we have. It's contract based and it's retainer based. That goes a lot deeper than the usual PR activities. I mean, I've had situations where I've had to get bands out of contracts with horrible booking agents. Um, I've had one of my bigger name bands. There was a situation where there was somebody was threatening them with a lawsuit over stolen artwork and things like that, and it just got messy. They were blowing up their inbox. They were saying nasty stuff on social media, and the funny thing is that we proved them wrong because when they claimed that their artwork was stolen by this band, I said, no, I remember from my art history degree seeing a painting that was too much like their design. So we displayed the painting, we issued a press release, and oddly enough, they never stopped threatening. Or they did stop threatening, excuse
Oh,
me. So,
yeah,
there's things like that.
yeah.
Usually usually there's not issues like with temperaments or you have like disagreements or um things of that nature. But I mean, if we have disagreements with artists, we kind of don't look at it like a negative thing. It's sort of like we can sort of learn from each other.
Yeah,
It's like, they have their expertise, we have ours, and you just kind of try to meet somewhere in the middle, I guess.
yeah. Well,
Um,
art's not really art if there's no static involved, I guess. So,
True.
yeah.
what are your thoughts on AI?
Oh man, I was just talking to the we have I don't even like to call them assistants. I like to call them directors or rock stars. I was talking with the two of them recently, Cassidy and Bella, and it it's so complex because the line is being grayed right now between, creating music and the actual like the tools. I mean, as far as we're concerned, music that is totally AI generated, forget it. We don't want anything to do with it.
Mm,
Um, I actually had a situation a couple months ago where I was going to restart the label branch of the company, and I had this guy. his album was just like every track was just awesome.
Mm.
After listening to it about 3 or 4 times and coming within inches of signing the contract, I was like, this is too good to be true. And it
Yeah,
was kind of a trigger when the cover art looked an awful lot like other covers.
yeah,
So we tested it, ran it through some AI auditors, which we normally wouldn't do.
yeah.
Um, Long
Wow.
story short, it came up to be 90%. And we didn't just run it through one, we wanted
Yeah,
to like really thoroughly test it.
yeah.
It came up 85, 90% AI generated on all of them.
Jesus. I just
So
saw something the other day about that. It's just that's
yeah,
not.
And that's the music?
Yeah,
that was strictly the music.
yeah. I
And
think.
so we said no. And it was because of that situation that we put an AI clause into our contracts now.
Yeah, well, that's good.
So
Yeah, I saw on Facebook a producer, I can't remember which one, talking about he said, I feel really sheepish about this. This is a band I've been thinking was an up and comer and is just awesome and everything, and I just found out that they are completely AI. And I'm like, holy fuck, are you kidding me, man?
and
They've got
the thing is though is that we don't have a problem with when it comes to like process improvement or efficiency, things of that
no,
nature.
use it as a tool, but fuck me, man.
Yeah,
Put
no. I mean,
and
full
that's
transparency, we've used it to create operations manuals and, things of that
yeah,
nature that we then edit to fit the company. But,
yeah. No,
as far
this
as
was
like actual
apparently a
composition, we don't,
yeah.
forget it.
No, this was like a duo project. It looked like it was really good. Had like they had no shows, there was no record. It was like they just poof, there they are. Now you've got this thing, and I'm like, wow, they can fucking do that. That's fucking sick.
Yeah.
And not sick in the good way. Um, so yeah, that's wild. Can you tell us about some of the real and genuine artists you've worked with?
I mean, they're all kind of genuine in their own way. I mean, that's,
I was being facetious about the AI thing. Just
oh, okay.
some of the
So
artists you work with. Yeah.
okay, yeah. Oh, geez. I mean, I think we're up to between 250 and 300 artists over the last few years.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe some of the ones that are perhaps well known in the niche that we work in,
Yeah.
um, Mortis, Curse Mackey, Christian Death,
Hmm.
A Starry Night, Me and My Nightmare, which is Mia from Lords of Acid.
Yeah. Yeah. She's
Um,
a lovely
Yeah,
person. I
shout out
love
to
her.
Mia.
Yeah. Big
yeah.
shout out to Mia. Hey, Mia.
Josie Pace, Spank the Nun, Unicode Machine, Our Frankenstein, Metamorph. The list goes on.
Wow. How did you end up getting hooked up with Valor and Company?
Oh, God, that goes back a ways. Uh, Officially, I talked to him 2017 when they did a show in St. Louis, and that was back when I was doing blog writing, and so we did an interview.
Yeah.
Later on, I basically came up with an offer that let me put you guys on my roster and we'll work out something with PR stuff.
Yeah.
And the rest is history, and I've basically been on call for them, during album cycles and videos and things of that nature. And then I mean, we spent a few days on the road. I did merch for their tour,
Yeah.
and yeah, it goes back. Oh God, I guess it's almost, what is it, like 9 years now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And two of the sweetest people I've ever met. Valor is easily one of the brightest, most intelligent people I've ever met.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I've got that weird background. Roz is someone I've been in the same circles with back in the day. And so that whole Roz versus Valor thing. And I mean, I always loved like what is it? This is Heresy, the Valor version of Christian Death. I thought this fucking incredible stuff.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
but I had never met Valor until around 2017, actually, and they were playing a show at the Showbox. They had uh, they had some trouble with their sound. And so it was after they had played. I'm standing over by one of the merch tables talking to somebody, and I look over and he's standing next to me, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, Valor." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm like, how you doing?" He's like, "Not great, man. That's this fucking everything was wrong on the stage. I couldn't hear anything." I'm like, "Oh, well, it sounded great though. You sounded fine." And when it looked great, it sounded great. And I kind of up until that point, I had never really given him the he's just another person, right? Kind of thing. But at that moment, I'm like, we all kind of have the same anxieties and the same shit going on when it comes to playing and having our art put out there. We want everything to go
Oh, for
well, and
sure.
it was a nice humanizing moment to have with him, and it's really made me appreciate the albums that are in my collection a lot more, having had that connection, especially after having known Roz and I did some work with him back with Shadow Project. One of my friends was doing videoing interview video with them, and so I got to meet him up at the Color Box in Seattle way back in the day, and he lived with my friend Gary, Scary Gary, and for a while. That was a devastating loss. But yeah, it was kind of nice to have them both officially be in the orbit of both of them at that point,
Yeah.
and kind of have some of the stink of the scene left because of being able to talk to him for a few minutes. So,
Yeah, he's got some stories. I mean,
oh, I'm sure he does.
he's definitely got some stories. And but one thing I will say about him when it comes to live shows and sound, he takes a hell of a lot of pride in it.
Yeah,
You
yeah. No,
know,
it was awesome, artist to artist. Having that reaction, I wasn't expecting it. It sort of it dominated the whole night, being able to have that conversation. So,
yeah, actually I got a special memory. Like when I went on when I did that tour with them doing their merch, the last show was in Brooklyn at St. Vitus, which is
hmm,
I guess now closed.
yeah,
And I have this distinct memory, like we're going through Times Square at like 2 in the morning. And I remember him looking over at my tree and saying, we just played like the best show of the tour, I think. Or we just played like a great show.
yeah,
And I'll never forget that as long as I live. The whole place is like lit up at 2 in the morning.
yeah.
And then it ended up on a good note with, Valor happy at having done a good show. So
That's awesome, man. Yeah.
So, William, we'd love to hear some funny stories if you can spare some.
oh man. Um I mean, there's some involving just that week with Christian Death. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to say who, but a couple of them were kind of arguing over my box of ginger snaps.
Do tell.
That's hilarious. I eat ginger snaps like a fiend. My roommates call them the old man cookies.
It's kind of like a ritual for me to put
Oh my
for me to
God, that's
take
awesome.
ginger snaps on road trips and stuff like that because my
Yeah,
grandpa used to do that. But
yeah,
um, you know, that was kind of funny. Other
that's
funny
awesome.
stories I have trouble thinking of, but yeah, I mean, it was just kind of surreal being in a van with these legendary performers, and then you got like you're parking in a hotel parking lot, and one of them saying, "Well, I'm waiting for the maid to get out because I got to go to the bathroom." You know what I mean? Or things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Or like somebody backs into a pole by in New Jersey. Just
yeah.
little moments like that was funny.
That's fun.
But
So what about with Mortis? You got any Mortis stories?
Not really. The stuff I was doing for him, there was a couple of US tours. Um, it, it was mostly like tour promo. So like we would try to get him press like on the road.
Yeah,
I don't remember if we did an album. I think we did do one album cycle, but it's been a while since I worked with him. Um, he's another one. Down to earth guy, takes a
right.
hell of a lot of pride in his stage show and in his work. And um, we had situations where two or three people said that they were going to show up to shows to interview him, and they didn't show. And I could see why he, got a little upset about that because it's
Yeah,
like, it- and it wasn't even like legit reasons from what I remember. It's like, you're disrespecting my guy's time.
yeah, that's dirty pool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, I don't know. But he's a cool guy though.
yeah.
I
No,
interviewed him. Did you set that up for me? That was a while ago. Do you remember?
I don't remember. I might have.
I think you did because it was such a nice guy. We had a great interview. Huge Skinny Puppy fan. He loved the questions. He was joking around. People kept walking in during our interview and he kept going, "We're doing an interview." And then like, Jesus. But
Yeah.
he's such a down to earth guy. Very, very
I
nice gentleman.
remember he was doing some interview, I think in Florida or something, and he's just sitting there in like a Leonard Skinner t-shirt or something. So,
uh,
but he's fun.
that's
Another
all.
smart guy.
That's
For
awesome.
sure. Are
You
there
know,
any?
when I was doing the Mechanismus live mini views, we had the same thing happen with I think it was Suicide Commando and Focke-Wulf, where people, we were backstage at the at El Corazon, and people kept coming in and walking in between us and everything. It was very funny.
Hmm.
So sorry, Joey, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, are there any upcoming releases on the horizon that we should keep our eyes out for?
There's a ton. We're working with this band from Finland called the Fair Attempts. I think we're working on a couple of singles now. He's got a record company, or excuse me, record coming out. I want to say next month. Um, Death by Love is another one that's going to be coming out on Distortion. Both of those records, I heard both of those records, and I was just blown away
Right
by
on.
both of them.
What's that name again?
Oh, Death by Love.
Death by Love. Thank you.
Yeah. Trying to think. There's a guy in LA who's got a project called Siren Section. It's pretty exceptional. It's like EBM industrial.
Okay.
Um, Sis Machine is another one. That's Dave from the band Derision Cult.
Oh,
Oh,
got him on.
Dave. Yeah, we
Yeah.
love Dave.
Yeah,
Shout out to Dave.
he's got some singles and then a record coming out, I think in April. And there's more. Cliff and Ivy, they're from Alaska. They got another one coming out, I think in March-ish.
Right on. Yeah, I'm looking forward to new music from Cliff and Ivy for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. So,
So the on your roster right now, who are some of the lesser known, less popular acts that you think are really an outstanding thing to that should probably have some more attention?
um, I mean, the roster kind of changes in such a way that like there's a few retainer-based bands that we have, like Metamorph. She deserves a hell of a lot more credit than what she gets. Um, Trying to think. Our Frankenstein, I don't think gets enough credit. They're getting ready to do a tour with Clockwork Echo and Cyclone 9.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, their last record,
That's a good lineup.
Magnum Spire Hotel, was really good.
Okay.
The Fair Attempts, that guy from Finland, that is one of those cases where it's like like a little bit of pressure because you know that this guy deserves like criminally underrated,
Oh, wow.
and you want to do a good job. Those are the ones
That's
that come to
fair
mind.
attempts as in FAIR or FARE.
FAIR.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, those are the
Some
ones that
homework to
come
do.
to mind.
What are some career milestones have you achieved?
Career milestones. Well, I can say that after I started doing this on my own, um, had you told me that I'd be sitting here with, two employees, an accountant, a business advisor, an LLC in Illinois, and working from home, um, I'd have said you're nuts.
Right on, man.
So
Congratulations, dude. That's
those
freaking,
are
yeah,
those are probably the milestones.
yeah,
The biggest one being the risk I took by leaving that company and just started doing this on my own. So the
yeah,
fact that I went like trial by fire, that in and of itself, I guess you could call a milestone.
yeah. No, that's brave. And it paid off.
Yeah,
So,
and honestly, this last person we found, Cassidy, who we kind of get extra goth points because she's up in Salem, Massachusetts.
there
You want to
you
talk
go.
about accidental milestones. I don't think that we've been looking forward to the coming months in a long time. But we found her by accident in October, and I don't know that you really want to call this a milestone, but we've had like a list of things that were kind of in the vision for the next year or so, where we wanted the company to go. And, she sent me her credentials, her resume and stuff. And I ended up going to her and I was like, is this for freaking real? Because she checked every damn one of them.
Right on.
And so, when she and Bella got along like they'd known each other for 35 years, I was like, oh man, now I got a machine. And so we're expecting some milestones this year.
Oh, that's good.
So
Awesome, man.
hopefully they don't feel any pressure when they see this, though.
Yeah, no, no, no pressure. No pressure.
No, they're both honestly, I couldn't do this without both of them. I mean, Bella's got her boots on the ground with the DJ community and both of them putting stuff together to come up with new ways to engage artists with DJs and whatnot. I mean, they're both irreplaceable. So we're pretty excited.
Oh, right on. Now, is there anyone out there that you'd really like to work with that you haven't so far?
There's a bunch actually.
Oh, shoot your shot, man. Put it out there. Get it out in the universe. Who we got?
Honestly, Grimes for
Oh,
one of
dude,
them.
that would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. If we kind of venture off into the indie alternative arena, there's a band from New York called Turbo Goth. Now I know it sounds kind of weird, but they're kind of like the White Stripes of the
Oh,
goth world, but they're a little bit like the White Stripes. It's just like a guy and a girl.
yeah.
And no, they're great. Um God, I don't know. Crew Lies would be
Okay.
amazing. Um there's a lot of them. I just can't think of all of them right now.
Yeah, put you on the spot.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any words of wisdoms for those just starting out in your industry?
But like people getting involved in PR,
Hmm.
be patient. Don't think that you can just get a bunch of email contacts, load them up into MailChimp and think that you're going to get results. You know, we kind of have this saying, if you put like in PR, if you put the R first, relationship first, then the P will follow.
Oh, I like
So,
that.
so it's like, if you create and nurture these relationships with artists, with the media friends, you know, the DJs,
Yeah,
those are irreplaceable to us.
yeah,
Not always perfect, but we try to keep the good relationships and don't be transactional. You know,
that's a
um,
good one. I like that. Yeah,
yeah, it's a business and you need to earn money and stuff, but if you focus on the people behind the laptop that have other obligations and responsibilities that aren't just there for your results or your hits or your stats or whatever you want to call it, um, if it means not, uh, if it means your campaign ends in 6 weeks instead of five because somebody's got some family stuff going on, then so be it.
yeah,
But so it's not always about results and just be patient and take care of your relationships first.
I like that. You know, I heard someone saying the other day, and this is outside of art. This was just we all have our business stuff we have to do on the side too when we're artists. But someone was saying that they had worked at a company for 10 years. That's kind of where I'm at right now. And the thing that kept them there was they knew if they had trouble, they had backup. And that was the important part of that job. That's what kept them. He's like, the pay wasn't great, the benefits weren't necessarily all there, but I had emotional security. And I think that's what you're talking about is making sure that you're providing the emotional security to your artists and the people you're collaborating with. Make sure that they know that you've got their back. And I think the whole
Yeah.
world could use a lot more of that personally. And that was it's kind of what you made me think
Yeah,
about
I
when you
mean,
said,
I've actually got a tab on one of my spreadsheets that I call the empathy tab. And
oh,
basically, like if if somebody lost a dog or they're, going through chemo or something, or they lost a parent. I mean, I don't
mm,
know about you guys, but I'm sick of losing people to cancer, and I've lost two
Yeah.
former clients this
yeah,
past year.
Jesus,
Um,
man.
things like that, and just it goes a long way. Just check up on people.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, we like to take our business hats off. I mean, that's
yeah.
why we like to do a lot of charity. We'll do like charity work. Like if we send music out to DJs, we'll take a portion of the money and send it to like our favorite charity is probably the Trevor Project.
Oh, awesome.
Um, that and maybe the National MS Society or the American Cancer Society, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um, you know, it's just kind of about giving back. It's not about taking.
yeah. No, that's like we were saying at the beginning of the show, the idea that a lot of the people in this particular scene are they're basically caregivers at heart. That's how I've noticed a lot of the attitude with the people I run around with is that people want to take care of each other, and it's a beautiful thing. It's created a really great scene, and like people like Klaus Larson. It's just being able to have a relationship with somebody that's got that big a heart is a wonderful thing. And there's so many of us out there. Auntie from Ayatoya, she's an incredible, incredible person with just a hugest heart. And so I love knowing that there's media PR companies out there that kind of have got that mindset too. So thank you for that. That's freaking
We
beautiful.
we do we do our best.
Yeah. So we have a question we ask everybody on the show just about. I think we may have missed one person in the history of the show, but artist to artist, what is your earliest memory of art having a profound effect on you?
I missed the last part. What
What
was the
is
last part?
your earliest memory of art having a profound effect on you?
Any kind of art?
Any kind of art.
Oh man.
The first moment you kind of saw the creative thing and went boom.
That I mean, I remember moments as a kid when I heard like the 80s new wave stuff come on the radio, or like, Motley Crue or Quiet Riot, and I'm like, the hell is that?
Yeah,
It was one of the blessings of growing up back then is like, man, you could never duplicate the originality of those bands back then.
yeah.
There was another moment I remember in high school where I had this art teacher. He just kind of inspired me to be like, you know what? I'm gonna go for art history in college, and that was my first undergrad.
Oh, there you go.
So it was kind of like, not necessarily art directly, but I guess having been in that class and being exposed to stuff
Yeah,
that was inspirational of going into that field.
excellent. Thank you, man.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about or promote with us, William?
I don't think so. Just maybe follow us on the socials. I think we're on most of the socials,
Yeah,
and keep an eye out. We're expecting a lot of pretty cool things this year. So I think that that's probably it.
excellent. Excellent. Awesome. William, thank you very much, man. We
Well,
haven't
thank you for
talked
having me.
we haven't talked very much. I know we're friends on Facebook, but this is my first time talking with you. It's been very enjoyable, and I very much appreciate your time. I know Joey has had just the most awesome things to say about you. So
That's good to know.
yeah, so it's been a pleasure having you on. Thank you. Okay, gang, you can find more about Mooncoil Media and William by heading over to www.mooncoilmedia.com. As he said, they're also on all the socials. Please keep your eyes peeled for the great talent under this umbrella. Okay, now, my lovely fruit roll-ups. This brings us to the end of another episode, dedicated as always to our dear friend Jason Lupo. May he rest in peace. This timeline keeps getting weirder and keeps getting darker. But I gotta say, our friends in Minneapolis are warming my heart with the creative chaos and the dedicated attention they are bringing to the horror show our government is crapping all over us right now. Please keep your head on a swivel. There's some bad things happening right now. Look out for each other. Look out for yourselves. Don't go swimming without a buddy, for crying out loud. Please breathe too. That's very important. It's totally okay to not be okay right now. We are all kind of hanging on by a thread, and nerves are frayed, people are scared, and with good reason. So try to show a little grace whenever you're out. Try to take your foot off the gas for a second and maybe let somebody in. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Um, And like I said, it's okay not to be okay right now. In fact, I would find it a little concerning if any of us were feeling okay. So fight the power in whatever way you do. We love you. Love, hugs, and belly rubs, everyone. Cheers.